Hurricane season begins June 1st and ends November 30th. While NOAA predicts a mild season for 2014, New Orleanians understand the importance of being prepared for hurricanes of all strengths. Whether it's a Category 1 rainmaker or one that dictates we evacuate, the message is always be prepared. Joining us today to talk about what pregnant women should do in case of an evacuation is Dr. Veronica Gillespie, board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist at Ochsner Baptist. Thank you for joining us today, Doctor. So we're going to be talking about hurricane preparedness, especially as you're expecting. What advice could you give to any of our audience that possibly could be expecting with the hurricane season coming up?
Yeah, that's definitely, I think it's a good thing that we're talking about it now before hurricane season starts. It definitely creates a lot of trepidation in expecting moms. There are a few big things that we like moms to know. One is to be aware of the signs and the symptoms of preterm labor. So that would be heavy vaginal bleeding, if there is a loss of fluid, a gush of fluid, meaning the water bag is broken, if they don't feel their baby moving as much, if they have contractions every 5 minutes apart or closer or 2 hours, those may be signs that labor is starting to ensue. And so for those patients, if there is an evacuation that's called for the city, we would recommend those women not evacuate, but instead get to their nearest hospital.
Oh, that's very good information, because I think a lot of our guests would definitely have that question. Absolutely. So if you have any signs of preterm labor and there's an evacuation, really get to the nearest hospital.
Correct.
What if you don't? What if you're like 7-8 months along and you haven't had any signs of preterm labor? What would you recommend to them?
So one of the things I recommend to my patients, and one of the things that we definitely do for our patients at Ochsner, is for those women that are pregnant during hurricane season, they should have a copy of their medical records. They should be aware of any issues that they're having in their pregnancy, anything that would be pertinent for another physician that's not taking care of them to know. If there is an evacuation that's called and they're not having any signs of labor, they should evacuate. They should try to possibly establish care with a physician in another city if it's going to be an extended evacuation. But that's why having their medical record is so important in case they do need to establish care somewhere else.
Okay. And if a pregnant woman is evacuating, what should she pack?
So some good things to pack would be water, because it's very, very important in pregnancy to stay hydrated. Also to take their prenatal vitamins along. If they're having any other issues in their pregnancy, such as hypertension or diabetes, they should take those medications with them as well. If they have immediately delivered or they're in the immediate postpartum period, we always recommend breastfeeding for our patients and for their infants. But if they're not breastfeeding, they need to make sure they have plenty of or even if they are breastfeeding, plenty of bottles, sterile water, so they can have the ability to clean their products for feeding if necessary.
Well, that's really important information. Is there anything else that you would recommend for a pregnant person during the hurricane season?
The biggest things, as we've discussed, just be aware of those signs of labor. If those things are happening, make sure that you do get to the nearest hospital so that you are not in the evacuation. If you are at a point where you can evacuate, make sure that you do have a copy of your medical record and that you get that information, updated information from your physician at every visit.
Absolutely. And where could our audience go to find more information about being pregnant during the hurricane season?
We do have some information on our website at Ochsner. Also through the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, there is a committee opinion that actually I authored on perspectives on disaster planning for pregnant women, and in there we have information not only for pregnant women but also for physicians that are outside of a hurricane area that may not know exactly what their responsibility is or what they need to do for those patients that may be transferring into their care. And so it's a good concise amount of information there for, again, patients, for physicians that take care of patients that are going to be evacuating, and also for physicians that may be receiving evacuated pregnant women.
And one other thing, I would think that they might want to bring like their insurance card or proof of insurance so that when they do go to another state or city that they have that available.
That is definitely a good point, a good idea. Any type of documents as far as Social Security card, insurance card, birth certificates, if you have other children, also having that information available for them as well.
Well, I can't thank you enough, because this is extremely pertinent information as we approach hurricane season. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And we'll be right back with more Community Health Heroes. The United Health Foundation recently released its 2014 America's Health Rankings Senior Edition, highlighting Louisiana's strengths and challenges when it comes to the health of our state seniors. With Louisiana ranking 49th this year for senior health, we were 48th last year, the services that organizations like St. Paul's Senior Center provides will go a long way in helping us overcome the challenges that our Louisiana seniors face. Join us today to tell us how one senior center is making a difference in the lives of our seniors in our community is Kathy Randolph, Senior Director of the St. Paul Senior Center. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell me about St. Paul Senior Center?
Well, thanks for having me on the show. My name is Kathy Randolph. I'm a Senior Director at St. Paul's Senior Center. We're located at 1509 Fillmore Avenue. The Senior Center is a place where seniors come to get active and be very well engaged. We have a program called Purposeful Living, and it is a program where seniors get involved. Seniors are getting involved in outreach activities. Seniors have adopted a program, a nursing program, where they go in and they provide arts and crafts to seniors who are in a residential facility, who are no longer able to get out in the community. They also have partnered with a homeless program where they prepare cookies, prepare sandwiches to feed to the homeless. And even on site at the center, the seniors are very active. They participate by cooking and serving the food for lunch, and even plan special event activities. Seniors are very involved at our center, and the center is a place that they call a home away from home. They even clean up the center.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes, they clean up the center, and they're even going to participate in a church event at an Episcopal church event that's coming up. They're going to prepare 400 cookies
Oh my gosh, that's a lot
to
of cookies.
give out to a block party.
Aw.
So our seniors are very engaged and very active.
So Kathy, I understand you had a recent dedication.
Yes, we did. We had a dedication on May 6th, Give NOLA Day. And we had quite a few seniors that attended, and we were excited to have this event.
So it sounds like you have cooking facilities right there at St. Paul's?
Yes, we do. We have a homely kitchen. Our place is a homely place. We have a back porch, we have a deck, and the seniors can feel free to visit these areas at any time. We try to make it very homely for them.
So besides being able to cook, it sounds like a lot of cooking's going on. What other services do you provide for seniors?
Well, seniors, when they're not busy, they participate in card games. They love card games. They do arts. They do crafts. They line dance. They exercise. They play Wii bowling. And they just enjoy socializing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Kind of a little bit of encouragement because you have your colleagues with you.
Yes. And the seniors, I think it's a place where they can eliminate depression and isolation. And they really have a good time.
Can you tell me a little bit about the importance of exercise and activity that you guys provide?
Well, exercise and being active is very important for a senior, because we found before taking this job as a senior director, I served as a case manager. And we find that seniors, when they're home alone, they get depressed, they become inactive, and they become sick. And this is not good for their physical and their mental being.
Absolutely. So you provide a nice place for seniors to gather.
Yes, we do.
So Kathy, if our audience wanted to know more information about St. Paul's, where would they go for that?
Actually, they can call our office and ask for me, Kathy Randolph, and our number is 644-4125, or they can email me at crandolph@stpauls-lakeview.org.
Okay, that's really important information. And how many seniors do you see every day, and are you thinking about expanding?
Well, at this time, we are open on Mondays and Wednesdays, and from 9 a.m. to 2. And right now, we have 14 seniors. And our goal is to have 20 per day, and we even want to increase a day.
So maybe 3 days a week?
Yes. We have a partner, People's Health. They sponsor 20 seniors to attend the center 3 days a week, 20 at 20.
Well, that's great information. So you could change the lives of 20 seniors a day.
Yes, yes.
With the senior population doubling in size in the next 25 years, we can't thank you enough for this valuable senior information.
Well, thanks for having me.
And if you would like more information about the health of our Louisiana seniors, you can find the United Health Foundation's America Health Rankings Senior Report online at americashealthrankings.org/senior. Stay tuned and we'll be right back with more Community Health Heroes. Many people in our community are struggling with different types of addictions, but what is the solution? Joining us today to talk about a local faith-based program that is helping members of the community overcome their chemical dependencies is Bridget Galatis, a volunteer with the Spirit of Freedom program. Thank you for joining us on the show today, Bridget. Can you tell me about the Spirit of Freedom program?
Absolutely. Well, first, thank you so much for having us here today. We're so excited to be able to talk about the program. And Spirit of Freedom has been in operation for 36 years now. So it started in the 1980s with Reverend Fred Hyde, and he had a background of being an alcoholic and really got his life turned around, and then started just sharing with people his story and letting them know kind of the ways that he became a productive citizen and really turned his life around. So we've been in the ministry now for 36 years, and we continue to be able to work with people throughout North America, so throughout the United States and into Canada as well. So we've been very successful with the program in terms of getting folks involved and getting their lives turned around and getting them out of the chemical dependency lifestyle.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what the program entails?
Sure. Well, there's a couple of things that we do. So the main program that we've been using for the last, I guess, about 15 years now is called the Christian Intervention Program, and it's a life skills program. It's 20 lessons, and we go around the country, and we've got about 400 programs in place right now, and it's offered through community organizations, and we work with the court systems. And as people come in with drug or alcohol offenses or have issues that they need to seek some sort of counseling or they need some sort of program, it's offered as an option for them to come and take the 20 lesson course and really get the life skills that they need to become productive citizens again.
So do you ever have a problem with the separation of church versus state when you're enrolling your members?
Well, it is something that we've addressed, and the way that we handle it with judges, DAs, court systems is, that we understand the Establishment Clause, and that, as a government entity, you can't force someone to take something that's faith-based, but at the same time, there is the opportunity for people to be able to choose. So there's, the same law has, the aspect of allowing people to choose a faith-based program. So as long as it's not forced, that it's an opportunity for them to choose a faith-based rather than a secular program, it hasn't been an issue.
Okay. And can you tell me about the success rate of a faith-based program versus another type of program?
Well, what we try to do is look at the person as a whole. So, obviously the spiritual aspect of your life is very important in how you manage your day-to-day and how you handle situations as they come up. So we try to teach people life skills, and then also really focus on that spiritual side, getting them involved in a community, a church, organization, some things where they can feel included and really focus on the spiritual side of their life as well, and not just focus on, there's obviously the biological side of addiction and all of that, but there also is the spiritual side, and we feel that if we address all of those pieces, that people have the best opportunity for success.
Absolutely. And when you said there were 20 segments or sections, is that over 20 weeks or is it over several months, or how long does the program take?
We typically do it over 20 weeks in about an hour-long sessions, and they're very interactive. So we have the class put in place, and usually there's 5 to 10 people in the class with an instructor, and they're able to learn from the folks in the class as well as the instructor, who usually when we work with the organizations, it's usually folks who have had issues themselves, so they're able to share their story and how they've overcome their issues with addiction. So it's very, it gives them that feeling of community and a support, as well as teaching life skills at the same time.
And Bridget, if our community wanted to find more information about your program, how could they do so?
We have a toll-free number. It's at 1-800-535-6011, and we've also got a website at sofm.co.
Well, thank you for coming here today and providing this important information because, as you have mentioned, people are struggling throughout the United States with addiction, and this is a very important subject.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
And we'll be right back with more Community Health Heroes. As the summer approaches and families head for the pool, the beach, or the boat, we'd like to take this time to offer some helpful tips from the American Red Cross Association regarding water safety. Swim in designated areas supervised by lifeguards. Always swim with a buddy. If you go boating, wear that life jacket. Install and use barriers around your home pool or hot tub. Actively supervise children whenever they're around the water. Always stay within arm's reach of young children and avoid distractions. Reach or throw aid to distressed swimmers. Don't go in. Keep toys not in use away from the pool and out of sight. Be water safe this summer, and we'll be right back with more Community Health Heroes.